how to create amazing random fill designs using Photoshop's fill command with patterns. And these are all created using a very, very basic design. A circle, a line, etc. There's the source designs. Created a completely transparent document. And I've then just added circle, and a circle or square, etc. And all of them have got no fill. That's the key thing. So I'll just quickly show you. Just create an ellipse or circle, and I'm using as a shape layer. No fill, that's the key thing. And I'm setting a stroke, and I'm using grey, which is very useful because it means that you can create some interesting colour designs, which is odd, I know. Use black, not so effective. Grey for colour designs. Transparent background, that's the key thing there. If you go to create a document. Now just go to the rectangular marquee tool and then just select that area. And then just go to edit and define pattern. Click OK. And that's it, stored away in your patterns presets. And I've done the same for all these other designs as well as many other examples in earlier tutorials. So now go to File and New and click Create. And you can go to Edit and Fill and select Contents Pattern. Select one of those pattern presets that I've just created, so you can see all the circles, lines, rectangles, all in there. Many different things work really well with this feature. And make certain the script is on. Sometimes Photoshop will set it to off again, so always check and use random fill. You can change the density, so you can make it more dense, more of the pattern preset design. You can also change the scale. Make it smaller. You can also rotate them. So instead of having them just as designed, you can have them rotated by clicking rotate. And that's the key thing about the grey. The grey is very useful because it will give you that full range of colour. So put the colour randomness up to nearly 100, or 1, I should say. Click OK. Now the preview doesn't always match the end result, so you can apply it again and again. Edit and Fill. Click OK. Apply it again, and you can do it 3 or 4 times. Sadly, there's no repeat command. Would be nice. Click OK. So now you've got that, what you can do is go to Filter and Stylize and Oil Paint. Set the cleanliness and stylization fairly high. The other settings don't matter because lighting's not on. You can set it on if you wish. Gives a nice 3-dimensional effect. Generally, I keep the lighting off. I just use the top 2 settings. So once you're happy with that design, what you can do, click OK. And you can apply it again, Filter, Oil Paint. Say 3 or 4 times. And then you can always go to image menu, adjustments and levels. Just brighten it up a bit. Or just change the intensity of it. Yeah. Click OK. And again, what you can do, you can go to Vibrance. And very simple, very easy, just using a very easy ellipse. But there's all the other designs as well. So I'm going to run through some of those as well. Now I could create a new document. I'm just going to set that to white. Edit and fill. Go back to the pattern and change the pattern now. A whole range of different patterns there, squares, rectangles. Select that and make certain the script is on, random fill, click OK. Now, you can see what I mean. It ignores it sometimes. I don't know if that's a bug. I think it's a bug. Edit and fill just turns itself off for some weird reason. So always make certain it's turned on and then click OK. And you can see the design there. Again, because it's a grayscale square, it generates colour. If it was black, it wouldn't have that. You can always turn the rotate pattern off so it's all as designed. Click OK. As always, the preview doesn't match the end result. And you can apply it again a couple of times. You could also apply it on layers. So you can create a new layer, apply it to a new layer, and then manipulate that. Using the same pattern again, you can apply it again, click OK. Apply it 3 or 4 times, and then go to Filter and Oil Paint, or Stylize. Filter and Oil Paint. Now you've got a very colourful design here now. If you want to turn it into black and white, you can go to the Image menu and Adjustments. Image Adjustments and black and white. And then you can manipulate the reds, yellows, etc. Create all kinds of unique designs. Image menu adjustments, and you can also invert it. So if you want a black background, you've got that design there. Lovely tangle of lines, rectangles, etc. Now, find the source document, something like that, something similar. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Does help. And just select that and go to Edit and Define Pattern. Click OK. Again, File and New if you wish, or you can just fill the existing document with white. So Edit and Fill. Again, use Pattern. Select the pattern you just created there. Again, make certain script is on. Random fill. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So this time it's black because the source document was black. So the colorizer randomization just doesn't work. But what you can also do is layer and new layer. Click OK. And then again, go to Edit and Fill. Click OK. And also select Rotate Pattern. You can change the scale, of course. You can modify those in any way if you wish. Click OK. Apply it a couple of times if you wish. But you can see now you've got that on a layer, which is quite useful. Window and layers. So you can see the layer there. Because what you can do with the layer, you can play layer styles. You can also turn it into a smart object. So I'm just going to add another little bit more. Click OK. As I said, the preview never matches the end result, or very rarely. So I think 3 or 4 applies. Is always useful. So layer menu, smart object, and convert to smart object. As a smart object, you can then add filters, adjustments, and so much more. You can also go to layer style and bevel and emboss. You select a contour for it. Just going to go with that one. Change the depth and size. You can also add drop shadows. So you can create some very unusual. Move the shadow around. Just about there. And of course you can change the contours for that as well. So you can create all kinds of unusual designs simply by changing the contour. You can also edit the contour to create your own unique ones. You can change the colours, blending mode, etc. Click OK. So now you've got that design. You can also go to a layer menu and smart objects and convert the whole lot to a smart object. What you can then do, of course, is you can transform it. So edit, transform and warp. You can drag that around. You can also go right click and split warp, so you can add your own variations of the warp. And then just warp that design in all kinds of ways. So that's all created from a very, very basic curve. So you can create some really interesting, complex backgrounds. And this is a layer. You can duplicate the layer as well. So you've warped it. Apply additional effects if you wish as well. But you can also duplicate it. So hold down the Alt or Option key and drag and duplicate that 3 or 4 times. And straight away you can see you can fill the document very quickly with a very tangled, intense design. You can always change things. You can always go to the layer style and color overlay. So you can even give it a color if you wish. A weird glowing yellow. No, I'm not going to go with that. But you can add gradients as well as additional bevels and much, much more. Click OK. So once you've done that, you've got that design. Now you could combine all of those into another smart object and repeat the same process. You could warp that, and so on and so on. But instead you can go to Layer and Flatten Image. Now you've got your design there. You can just apply oil paint if you wish, a couple of times. And of course, what you can also do is image and adjustment and hue and saturation. Maybe go to colorize, change the saturation, hue. So you can create some very intense backgrounds very quickly using this approach. I mean, you could even create an action just to generate that if you wish. Looks a great landscape. So I'm going to create a new document. Now, where's the source material gone? I have to look for it quickly again. Yes, there it is again. So go to the rectangular marquee tool and select this. Now I'm going to select a circle, and it's a grey one, so you can use it for colour effects. Again, edit menu and define pattern. File and new. Click create. Again, go back to the edit and fill. Make certain you select the pattern, because sometimes what I do, I rush ahead and I don't select that pattern. So there's the design. Click OK. Make certain the script is on, because sometimes, as mentioned, sometimes it just ignores it. So it's using pattern. Click OK. And this time you can see it's just random circles. Got colorize randomness set on fairly high. Doesn't matter about the rotate pattern, it's a circle. So edit and fill again. So it looks a little bit more like the preview. So now you've filled the entire design with these lovely random circles. Again, you can go to filter and oil paint. Apply it a couple of times. Just smears it in. It really creates a lovely smeary effect. I would love to see them change that oil paint to add a few more options, but that's, who knows. Filter and again, click OK. And then what you can do, you can create layers. So you've got that smeary background. You've also got the defined circle there as well. And you can also fade it. So edit menu and fade. Maybe change the blending mode to lighten. So you can mix the blurry effect with the slightly sharper circle. And again, you can apply oil paint to that as well. You can, of course, go to the edit menu and use fade with the oil paint as well. You can use invert there. Undo. And use levels. So you can create all, and that's just from a circle. Circle, a very basic circle. Grey circle. Single stroke, no fill. That really works well also with if you go to the 3D menu and use the depth maps. Really nice effects there. So you can duplicate that design. So you can go to the layer menu and duplicate that layer. Resize it. That's one thing I like to do sometimes. I like to resize it, make it slightly bigger, not too far. Don't want to push it too much. You've got two layers virtually the same now. What you can then do, of course, it's a layer. So layers menu, panel. Now you can also apply the fills to that as well. It's just a layer. You can apply a fill to it if you wish. Click OK. Again, filter and oil paint. But it's a layer, so you can use blending modes. So go to the blending modes in the layers for the top layer. Maybe use screen, lighten, difference. So difference looks great. So difference, I know it looks a bit of a tangle there. It looks quite a mess. But go to a layer and flatten image. And again, filter and oil paint. Apply a couple of times. And what looked a mess now becomes quite an abstract design. You can see the tangles weaving in and out. Adjustments, levels. Change the input sliders. Click OK. And then you've got that design there. Very abstract, weaving in and out design. And what you can do with these designs, of course, is use them as a source for a pattern as well. So simply just go to the rectangular marquee tool in the Tools panel. Create a selection. And then go to Edit and Define Pattern. Sometimes I like to try different things out. I look at it and think, you know what, that would look pretty amazing using with the random fill as well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Deselect that. Edit and Fill. Go and select our pattern. Now I know this is not an outline, but it's sourced from the outline, so. Click OK. Make certain script is on. I like to always do that because sometimes, as I mentioned, Photoshop suddenly decides I'm not going to run with that. Click OK. And you can see the design there. Change the density, randomness if you wish. Click OK. So you can create some very, very abstract designs just by using a simple selection. Again, oil paint, blend it in. And as you can create all kinds of simple lines, all kinds of possible designs like these are possible. And that one was just created using multiple layers, using layer styles, and then of course, again, good old oil paint to smear it all in. Just created from a very, very basic curve. Like that one as well. That was just a simple curve. Turned it into a smart object once you'd done the fill to create those strands. Applied a layer style. And what you can do, of course, you can use Liquify. It's a smart. I try and turn things into a smart object. That's the key thing. Turn it into a smart object. And then you can distort the design. And that was created from a very, very basic curvature tool, just a simple couple of clicks to create a simple line. Edit and fill again. What you can do, of course, you've got that smart object. You can always duplicate it, duplicate the layer. Click OK. And again, what you can do, you can go to Liquify. And you can distort that again. click OK. And you can build up multiple layers using this approach, all generated via the edit fill command and using it as smart objects. Layer menu and flatten. And again, you can finish it off using filter and stylize and oil paint. All created using these very, very basic line designs. And you can create your own line designs, all kinds of variety of designs. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphic Extra channel. Always adding new tutorials all the time. Please add a comment or two, be appreciated. A dislike or like. Thank you much.